Hi, I'm Melanie Bunn. I'm a registered nurse and I'm a nurse clinician, a nurse consultant, and a nurse educator. And I'm delighted to have been involved with Dementia Alliance of North Carolina for years now. Some of you may have seen some of the other videos I've done for them. And I'm glad I was invited to do this topic, which is talking about June the 15th as World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. I don't know that everybody has heard about it, but I think if you have someone in your life who is living with dementia, it's a conversation that we need to be having because people living with dementia are at dramatically high risk for being abused, mistreated, and exploited for so many reasons, for so many different reasons. Some of them have to do with aging, some of them have to do with dementia, some of them have to do with environmental kind of issues, some of them have to do with resources, but it's kind of come to a head in this COVID world because the reality is systems were tough before COVID. Things were not going, things were complicated for families who have people living with dementia, for care partners of people living with dementia. It was complicated because you've got dementia and you've got isolation and you've got issues of all of these competing responsibilities. I'm supposed to be a daughter, but I'm also a mother and I'm also an employee. And if I'm working in a healthcare organization, I have priorities that are related to time and priorities that are related to efficiency and priorities that are related to compassionate care as well. So there are all of these challenges of financial kinds of issues, and then you add dementia in on top of that, and life is really complicated. Plus, some of the resources are limited, things like respite, some time away, education about dementia. We're working on that, but there's still a lot we need to know and we need to learn. And then issues of social support. How do you talk with people who get it? Where do you reach out for support with people who understand what you're going through? So the things were complicated even before COVID, and then with COVID, things got a lot more complicated because we've got more of lots of things. We've got more stress, and we may not even realize that we're stressed, but it's there and it's growing and it's becoming, and it's the expense of COVID and the time change in COVID, that where I used to have some time away, now we're together 24 hours a day. Or maybe I used to be able to get away at work, and now getting away at work is so hard because I've got to unmask and unglove, and it's just so, the restrictions and the changes, and people are so busy, and there's less energy, psychic energy, a less emotional energy to be connecting. And then there are all of these other kinds of distractors and things that are going on. So during COVID, the issues of risk for abuse for a lot of people, vulnerable people, became even more complicated. We were worried about children who are not at school. We're worried about parents. We're worried about older people. I'm specifically worried about people living with dementia because after COVID, we had less of the support, less of the resources, less of the respite, less of the education, because we can't get together and learn. We've got to learn this new way on Zoom, but maybe not everybody has Zoom. So we've got less of that. We've still got a lot of challenges, and now we've got all of these things competing with these rules. We've got things competing for financial. We've got things competing with how much is there really to give us some time together, and oh yes, some time away. So, and it's a year later. So dementia itself has progressed. So the skills that we knew, the ways we used to be able to cue that worked, it doesn't work the same way anymore because anybody living with dementia over the period of a year is going to be experiencing some changes in their ability. That's what happens with dementia. It's progressive. So we're going to see some changes. So over the last year, our systems have been challenged. So when we start to think about people living with dementia within this frailty related to COVID-19, we're noticing that people living with dementia themselves are having trouble adjusting. So their system has been shocked either through isolation or through one on one togetherness or through changes in the system where they're living. And part of what happens with people who are frail is they don't recover as quickly or as well. And we've got these systems that are trying to recover from COVID-19 and having trouble coming back to a balance. So what I'm going to leave you with is it's time to reach out. It's time to reach out to each other, to have those conversations. It's time to reach out for support. You know, this is really hard. It's really complicated. I don't know what I'm going to do. Reach out to a safe person in your community, a safe person in your faith community, a safe person in your family, and definitely the safe people here at Dementia Alliance of North Carolina. Reach out to people who get it through a support group, whether it's online or whether it's as they're restarting, if it's an in-person support group. Reach out for resources now that we do have more resources for it doesn't feel so scary to let people into our homes anymore. It doesn't feel so scary to go out of our homes for adult day programs or to go out of our homes so other family can be part of that caregiving experience. So in communities, families can come in and can be part of and be involved again. Reaching out to volunteers more, we can do that. And reaching out for education. I don't understand. 12 months ago, we were able to do this when we went out, and now we go out and life is different. Reach out for education, because the truth is you don't have to go through this alone. And one of the biggest risks for elder abuse, and specifically for people living with dementia, one of the greatest risks is isolation. So reach out. Reach out for education. Reach out for resources. Reach out for support. And if you don't have someone living with dementia in your life, or if you're at a distance, reach out to see how you can help. There's so many ways we can reduce the isolation. There's so many ways we can reach out and help, whether it's something as simple as running an errand or whether it's something as complicated as coming in to be that respite person. Reach out in honor of, not in celebration, because I don't think celebration is the right word, but in honor of World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. Make it your commitment to reach out, whether it's for yourself and your person living with dementia, whether it's for yourself and the people in your life who have dementia that maybe you have a professional relationship, whether it's for people you know in your neighborhoods, whether it's people you know in your faith communities, whether it's people you know online. Reach out, because the isolation is something we can do something about. I can't change people's brains. I can't change the political system. I can't change the financial system. I can't change a lot of the other issues that are going on, but I can change that feeling of isolation. I can reach out. So thank you for being part of this ongoing educational process. If there's information, if there's referral, if there's resources, if there's support, if there's something you need, reach out to Dementia Alliance of North Carolina.